Welcome to the Beantown Bully podcast. I'm your host, Basha, and let's get right into it. This week, Gamescom happened. There's a couple games that I went through, and I need to go through them. Let's see. Actually, we're gonna start with Dead Island. Um, they actually have another trailer. There's no actual gameplay trailer, but the CD trailer, looks good enough. But I can't fall for the trap. CG trailer alone is not gonna make me buy these games. So they're gonna have to do something a little bit more, but I don't know. Is it gonna redeem itself? Are they gonna redeem themselves? Because after the poor showing of Riptide and the poor showing of Dying Light 2, is this genre going to redeem itself? Now, I was talking shit about it in the last podcast, thinking about not actually playing it, but the longer I think about it, there's not a lot of four-player co-op games that I can play with my peoples. Dying Light 2 wasn't all that good, so that's most likely gonna be a pass. But you can't really turn your back on four-player co-op games. I try to play with the small group of people I'm gonna play with. And most likely I'm gonna play with these people, probably mix and match in co-op, in doubles, but just to have that option is always well. And like I said, adding some type of co-op compartment to your games can help with the longevity. What else can I expect from this game? I don't know. They still haven't showed any real gameplay of it. From the screenshots that were shown, it looks pretty good. Trailer's all CG. They need to drop some actual gameplay for me to be like, yeah, let me take a look at this. Moving on, Dead Island drops. It drops February 3rd, 23. Callisto Protocol. Now, the more I see this game, the more I'm like, why am I not buying this? I said this in the last episode that I'm like, I don't think it's gonna be a purchase for me. But seeing the gameplay, this might not be a day one for me, but I'm definitely going to play it. Looks great. There's the environmental kills, which looks. I'm always good of having multiple ways to kill enemies. The trailer ends with the main character going down this, I can say, some type of water pipe, and he gets cut in half. Now, this was actually gameplay from what I was seeing, and it looked great. Definitely gonna get this game. Am I going to pick it up and beat it right there and then play it all the way through? Most likely not, because I have a problem. There is no cure for my sickness, all right? I have a problem right now. Right now I'm trying to get past The Last of Us 2. And I got that game damn near like 2 weeks after it dropped. So, I'm sick. I'm sick, and there is no cure for what I have. I don't even know what the fuck happened. Like, I used to just play a game to completion, beat it, delete it, or keep it on and just play all the side missions if I deem necessary. But for some reason, something clicked, and I just started buying games that I would have. Like, some of these games that I have on my hard drive, I have hours into them, and they're not bad games. Like Mad Max, Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm damn near like, I should at least say like 10. I'm gonna say like 10 plus hours in both of these games. Most likely more, because the Horizon, I got to the point that I'm able to control all the controllable monsters in the game. So I'm damn near in the game. I went back to that and I was getting my cheeks clapped, and it was not something that I enjoyed. Like, I went back to play for one day and I was like, let me see if I can just pick this up and keep going. I really might have to start a whole new playthrough because I cannot play the game anymore. Like, it is out of control. If anyone is plagued by this type of sickness, you gotta cut it off immediately. You need to seek help immediately. Because having like 100 and plus games on your hard drive Don't get me wrong, some of the games I haven't even started, but the ones I did start, like realistically, a brief overview of my backlog. It's Tangent Time. Tangent Time is happening. I have The Last of Us. I have the Final Fantasy 15 with the boy band one. I have Mad Max, Horizon Zero Dawn, um, Dishonored 2, Dead Rising. It's probably another game that I'm missing that I can't get off the top of my head. I still have to beat Kingdom of Amalur Ragnarok, the DLC that dropped. I paid for the DLC and I still haven't beaten it. So I'm just like, there the backlog. So it's like at least 7 games that I can name off the top of my head that I need to. Oh, Deus Ex. So that's 8. Like I put hours into these games. So when I say the backlog is serious, it's serious. The other games I haven't even started, I don't feel too bad. But this one, I'm just like, come on. I just need to, like I said, I need to zero in and laser focus on one game. Don't get me wrong. I play my multiplayer games here and there, but anytime I'm not playing those multiplayers, I need to get back to that single player game and just play it out. So back to Callisto Protocol. Not a day one for me, but I can definitely see myself picking this up later on. And I don't even like these type of horror type games. I just don't know what it is. But it showed me enough that I'm like, this is a good game, and why am I depriving myself from playing it? Next on the list is Sonic Frontiers. Gonna be honest, I haven't played a Sonic game since like Sonic for the Dreamcast. Sonic Adventures is the last one, or we could say Sonic 2 on my phone because I own the game. So I'm not like, most likely gonna be a straight pass for me. I am not gonna come around and purchase a Sonic game. Don't get me wrong. I was having fun with the Sonic All Star Racing when they could turn into cars, boats, and planes. I was having fun with that. But a regular Sonic game, I don't think that's gonna work for me. It's the same thing I feel about Mario games. I don't think I'm gonna go back to a Mario game. I think it's hit a limit that it's just passed for me. Also, I'm not gonna go out of my way to get a Nintendo system because Nintendo is I'm kind of off limits with Nintendo. It's I'm not buying a Switch. I thought about it long and hard, and I'm like, getting another console that I know I'm not gonna play doesn't make sense to me. It just I don't know why I would do that to myself. The games would just collect dust. For some reason that I don't know why I would need to, but for some reason I would get and just add more games. That's insanity. And I'm trying to cure myself of this problem. So getting a new system to play newer games that I'm just gonna add games to my backlog, it's not happening. Releases 11/8/22. Lies of P. Date is next year, sometime next year. Souls type game in a steampunk world, which I believe Bloodborne had some type of steampunk ish aspect, but I feel like this is a lot more pronounced. Um, it's gonna be a pass for me. I don't really care about soul type games. Like I was very interested in Demon Soul, the when it first came out. Um, the remake I don't plan on going back to. I was into the game and then I don't know what happened. I just stopped playing and I was like, fuck it. This is not a go anymore. And at that point I was just like, I'm not going back to these type of games. I tried it with the Surge. It just actually we can say Star Wars. I forgot to add Star Wars to my list. Uh what is it? Not The Last Jedi. The latest Star Wars game. I can't remember the title of it right now. That is kind of like a Soulsborne game. Well, it's a light game. It's a light version of those, and I still plan on beating that. But this Life of Pi, I'm gonna commend it. Like it looks good. It's just the type of game that I'm really don't plan on getting into. With the sheer amount of games I got from the Epic Store, I have Sekiro Die Twice, Neo 1 and 2. I don't see myself playing any of those games, but if I am, I might as well play those games first before I even get to this game. I do like the spells and stuff like that in this game. I know there's spells in the other Soulborn games, even Eternal. Was it Elden Ring? I'm just not. I'm not hyped for these type games. Um, don't get me wrong, they look good. It's just that I don't care for the gameplay. So I don't know. There's a disconnect between what's happening in those games and how I feel about them in general. And I don't have anything really good to say about most of them. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, 2023 release. Now, this is most likely going to be a pass because this is going to be heavily relying on paying off a squad. It looks like it's a clown versus the kids or whatever the option, whatever the other team is, and that might. I need to see more of it. I'm not gonna say it's an immediate pass, but I'm going to say that it it's not drawing me in, but it's the same. I feel like this game's gonna do well because the Dead by Daylight crowd, the Jason crowd, the people who play those games, they have hella fun. This is probably a good streaming game. Like if you're streaming video games in general, like Steam, YouTube, I mean Steam, Twitch, YouTube, I feel like this itself, this would probably be a good game to get and to play with a squad. Like if you, this might look pretty good. I gotta see how they break down the abilities and stuff like that. But like I said, it's probably not my cup of tea. Um, I gotta, like I said, another pass for me. But this might, when it drops, it might do wonders for the streaming crowd. Hogwarts Legacy, February 10th, 2023. Game looks good, but there's two issues I'm currently having with it. Now, the wands, I don't care for wands. Like it looks, their little wands looks weird, and the yelling out the name of the spells. I always found the spells names in Harry Potter to be ridiculous. I don't know what it is, and the wands, they just look weird and stupid. Now, the Harry Potter movies in general, they were good movies. I can't really have fault them in general, but I hate the wands. Like, and the yelling out the spells when they do it. Now, I thought about this for a little bit, and I'm just like, it's funny that I would come to this conclusion when in Dragon Ball or any other anime, you'll hear them say Kamehameha all the time. You'll hear them name their special move, or if it's a spell in an anime, here's the thing. Some animes just do like they have the spell's name, whatnot, but they don't yell out the spell. They just do what they do, and then they'll say what it is after they do it, which I prefer. But yelling out the spell every time you do it, I don't know what it is, but I feel like that's just so cheesy and corny. Just continuously yelling out the spells. Now, if they do that throughout the game, this might be an issue for me. And I know I'm nitpicking. But I think it just drops the immersion for me. The immersion in the actual from playing the game. Besides that, I have the graphics are all right. I felt like they could have been better because when you're looking at it, it kind of looks like it's a late PS4 game. I'm pretty sure it's going to be for last gen and current gen right now. Most likely, I'm going to get this game on PC because why not? Also, I don't have a PS5, and that's a whole nother story. Like, I could get one, but then transferring all my old games in the backlog over to it wouldn't make sense. So, and again, oh, the only other part that I forgot to mention was this is not a con. It looks like there's some sort of choice system. It may be like a light side, dark side thing. Now, if they actually play up this part, this would be great. I like the more choice option type things. I hope they delve very deep into this. I hope that you're able to like change the story drastically in what you do, like light side, dark side type thing. I know that it's kind of rigid in that aspect, but I like having those type of choices. Just like in Mass Effect, I like being able to be the hero that everybody loves, but I'm still a dick. Like I like that. I also have to get back to Mass Effect 2 and 3 backlog, crazy. But if they allow you to go to the dark side in this, I'm gonna require them to, if they drop another one after this, that they at least allow you to stay with the same character, or your choices in the other game affects the new game. Somehow. Need more games that do this type of thing. Stop leaving it all to Bioware for this type of storytelling, this type of thing. I don't what is it actually? What would it actually be called? Like a continuation of their games. Like I need what I do in the games to matter going forward. Like it may not, like if my main character is kind of, if it's a bad guy, and I go into the next game, if I'm allowed to play as that main character again, I'll be able to mention the shit I did in the previous game or my main character in the previous game. I'm missing that in most games. I did like having it in Dragon Age Inquisition and pretty much all the Dragon Age games, and plus the Mass Effect games. So I would like for that to be a thing again. And if they focus on that one specific thing, I gotta say this will definitely be in my radar. This might be a day one. I might have to push everything else in the backlog to the closet, to sweep it on the rug and not speak about those. But this might be a day one if I have that level of immersion. Gotham Knights. 10/21/22. After the Saints did me dirty, I don't know how to feel. Actually, I bought the game, pre ordered it online. I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to put them on blast, but I bought it in January, January 4th. I pre ordered it. The day before, they canceled my pre order and they sent me a lengthy message saying they either oversold it and whatnot. But I'm like, back in January, my guy? Back in January, you couldn't get me a code? Like, January. I waited 8 months. Everybody was like, yo, you're crazy for even putting you haven't even seen videos. My blind faith in Saint Row was on high. I was speaking with my dollars. I was like, yo, I'm supporting Saint Row immediately. Now, after I got past the whole depression stage of not being able to play the game because I pre-ordered it, and then I can be like, well, I can go to a different thing and just buy it outright from the Epic Store. I could do that, and then I was just like, you know what? Let's check out these reviews. Let me wait, check out the reviews and everything like that. Now, I see people talking and saying there's good things about the game and stuff like that. The crucial things that I think is the main gameplay changes that they made, like doing all those crazy melee attacks. You have to charge up a meter. That was kind of dumb. Things like throwing grenades, you need to charge a meter for it. That is also kind of dumb. I don't know what happened, who was in these rooms, but changing the core mechanics of how you interact with the world, your guns, your weapons in general, and the melee, those weren't positive moves for me. You should have left it exactly how it was, and we would have been good from there. But they made changes to it, and they slighted me. A faithful, I've bought all of them, all of the Saint Row games, day one, all of them. Gat Out of Hell, which I didn't even like, bought that day one. I really felt like they just slighted me for some reason. I took it as a personal attack, but went off on another tangent. Gotham Knights. I don't even know if I should even buy this game. Everything I love is just turning into shit. So now I'm like, should I even support this game? Wait till it actually drops to see what the fuckery is? Because pre-ordering games, I really believe is not the way. But I kind of want these games day one. But now I'm like, I know better. Cyberpunk taught us better than to just buy these games day one. They told us better. Saying it's not even as bad, but the humor is not really there for me. It's about I don't know, man. I don't know if I really care about the characters. So it's I might have to say it. Saint Row might be a pass. I am not going to be paying that full price. And if I do get it, I'm gonna have to wait till my peoples get it. So that's probably gonna be when this game's like $10. And the way this game's reviewing, it's not gonna last much. And Embracer Group, this is probably Embracer Group's biggest game right now since they bought the rights, and it's gonna be their first flop. And well, the way I see it's gonna be their first flop. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people, some people like it, but I feel like I shouldn't say this, but I feel like them liking it. I think that they're looking for a way to justify their purchase because you can't go from the other Saint Row games and go to this one and be like, well, you change core mechanics to make it fair in this world. Don't get me wrong. There's some things that I'm like, all right, cool. The flying around, that's cool. Overall, I don't care for this. Don't care for the people. The characters that they didn't care for. I don't know why the characters I just didn't care for when in the original Saint. I think they were just goaded. They were just goaded in. Like start from the bottom. You're not even the leader at that point. Blah blah blah. Betrayal. If you didn't play Saint Row 1, I don't know what to tell you. But I feel like Saint Row 1 and 2. Saint Row 2 is probably the best ones in the whole entire series. Saint Row 3, people saying they like that one a little bit better. I'm saying that Saint Row 3 is probably the best looking out of the bunch, but the overall story in Saint Row 2 is the best. A lot happened in part 2, picking it up after part 1, and what happened in part 1, I was just like, this is it. Now, I went on a tangent again, but back to Gotham Knights. Hopefully this game does it. Hopefully this game lives up to the hype. Hopefully it's just a fun game. Worst case scenario, the story is shit, but it's fun. It's mindless fun. Running around Gotham City, just beating up people with your friends, drop in, drop out, co-op. Perfect. Now, in the trailer we've seen Clayface. They talked about Mr. Freeze, Harley. Didn't see Joker in any of it. So I hopefully it wasn't something I missed in that. But they didn't show Joker. But they did show Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood. So they had a bunch of people, and they had them running around in these at least Batgirl in her like any the new outfits they give they allow you to get in the game. So she was running out in this custom made outfit costume. So I want to have hope for this game, and I'm just gonna have to leave it at that because that might break me if this game said might break me. I don't know what to say if this game. I'm pretty sure this year would be straight. The years of games that dropped this year, it's probably trash. If this game, I don't know what else coming out later this year, but if this game comes out trash, what is there? What is there left in this year that we can be like? At least we got this game this year. Oh, God of War. God of War is supposed to be coming out this year, so I believe that's probably the only other game that I'm like, well, God of War saved this year, but it's coming out in December, I believe. So technically, that's towards next year, but very, very difficult with what they're giving us. Now, PlayStation has decided that they wanna the controller making market besides the default controller. They're making their own answer to the Xbox Pro controller, DualSense Edge. There's really not much to say here, so I can't really complain. It's a controller. What more can I say? Now let's move on to new Tales from Borderlands releases 10/21/22. This game is not made by Telltales, so a little nervous. I love the other one. This new one looks good enough, but I'm still worried. Still worried. I don't know how I feel about the characters. Just like in Borderlands 3, I hated everything but the gameplay. Story was bad, and I felt like men were treated like shit throughout the whole game. I can't remember a character that was male that wasn't a fuck up. So I don't think they're gonna go that route, but I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Like every male in that game just felt like an incompetent buffoon. But we'll see. Next, Moving Out comes out sometime in 2023. I'm all about the couch co-op games. I liked Overcooked. It's just a quick game you can just play. You're not really take it too serious. Now I went far enough solo, so I started bringing people up, but then they started bringing me down because they can't coordinate. Once it gets too complicated for people, people don't know. People were making burgers right. It just fell apart. Now it is a good pick up and play game. I hope they have some type of mobile integration so that you can play on mobile. So I would love to play this type of game on mobile and be able to play with people on console. I don't know how big the game is, but I feel like they should look into doing this. You know, it just makes sense that having this game and being able to play it anywhere should be a bonus. The Matadors. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Matadors. Very short trailer. Need to see more. Looks good. It looks like a space co-op. Max 3 players. I kind of hate that there's always this 3-player co-op games that's coming out. Like I hate those. I don't know why they're just single 4, but okay. It looks like it might be akin to a Payday. Looks fun. Need to keep my eye on this one. This might be a pickup just to get something just out there. Just something different. To break up the monotony of the games that I play now. Everywhere. I don't even know what to say about this game. The trailer shows a lot of different scenes. People walking, third-person shooting, driving cars. I'm gonna have to be honest. They made this trailer look like people think about like what the fuck is happening as if you're in this game. The real point is, it kind of looks like Fortnite, an open world Fortnite, I should say. The scenes that they were showing were pretty good, but then when the trailer gets towards the end, the graphics get turned up to like 100, and it looks different, a lot different. They don't really tell you what the fuck is going on, which that's their thing. They're trying to keep people hooked on what they showed. But I'm so lost now. Like I'm most likely gonna forget about this game until another trailer drops. But hopefully they decide to do something with it. Dune Awakens. I love the Dune world. My favorite Dune series, besides the movies, the movies were okay for me. The latest one, I liked it a little bit more, but Children of Dune is probably my favorite part of the whole Dune series. I know a lot of people hate it, but come on. I love it. There's something about it, I just loved it. When I got in at that point, like I didn't see I most likely did see the original Dune before because they were playing it. They had to play it on TV at least one point. And I'm fairly certain that I seen it on TV, but the Children of Dune it just hit. Now, it's cool CGI. the guy's gonna ride a worm, a sandworm. This game is supposed to be an open world survival MMO. It's another game to keep your eye on. I haven't really played MMO since Final Fantasy 11, and I almost died playing that. But that's another story. That's a story for another day. But that is another game to look out for. I'm really interested in what they do with the IP. They had a real-time strategy game. I wasn't really feeling that, but on to the next. Atlas Fallen. This is giving me Godfall vibes. This game is and that game was pretty much trash. I shouldn't say it's trash, but it wasn't enough there to keep me. Like, it, don't get me wrong, it looked great. It's just that the gameplay was just not enough to keep people. Like, it was technically a looter. Like, you're running through a dungeon looter, but it didn't keep me. And I don't know why they even ended up trying to do something like this. But hopefully they figure something out that Godfall couldn't. Like I said, there wasn't a lot to show in this one, but hopefully they figured something out. Where the Wind Meets, another 2013 game. It's a Chinese game. If you watch any Chinese movies or any Chinese anime, you will feel right at home. I expect to have over the top battles. During the video, they showed a little bit of gameplay. Guy running on water, the shadow steps, using a bow. So I expect to see over the top something akin to I'm blanking. Azura's Wrath. That's what I want to say. The Expanse. Now, I love this series. They're having Telltale is back with another one. So I'm most likely gonna fuck with this. I just beat the 2 Batman ones this year, so I'm caught up with Telltales. Except I haven't played The Wolf Among Us and I haven't beaten the Walking Dead ones. But I played the Borderlands one. I played what was the other one? I played the Game of Thrones one. I did like that one. But that one I felt like they gave you choices that really didn't, like the choices you made really didn't change much. Which I didn't feel like that in the other games. I felt like my choices were like, if I went back to play it now, I feel like those choices would actually make a whole different outcome. In the Game of Thrones one, I felt like my choices would automatically lead me to the ending that they wanted me to have. At least the illusion of me having choice in the other ones was better. Now, I would want the Expanse to have an open world single player or drop-in co-op world like The Last of Us. Now, you can do The Last of Us, you can do Mad Max, something akin to those, something similar to those. Like, I want this game to be, I don't know. You know what? I want this to be the space equivalent of GTA. That's what I want from this game. Rockstar has the past with Red Dead, current times with GTA. I want the Expanse to be their futuristic foot in that space avenue. They have the characters. Technically, you can make whatever character you want. They have something to fall back on. I want Rockstar to step it up and just give me this, Rockstar. Give me this. Now, they're going to have to take in consideration all the extra physics, the flying cars, stuff like that, and make it look more natural, stuff like that. Leaving the planet, coming back to the planet. I understand that. Now, how they're going to pull it off, I don't know. Maybe you can do something like a No Man's Sky type thing. But No Man's Sky is kind of basic. Don't get me wrong. They had a lot of DLC, but story-wise, very basic. So, I don't know. I'm torn, but I want the Expanse to have a game I can sink my teeth into. Maybe get the guys from BioWare to make it in Mass Effect. I don't know, but I want a lot. We should probably go to Mass Effect route. The Mass Effect route might be a little bit better GTA, it might get too complicated for them. I shouldn't say too complicated, but they're not really dealing with this type of thing, leaving them to stuff like that. They might have to make it a single player game. I kind of want co-op, at least one person co-op, at least another person in the game. Drop in, drop out co-op, at least. And I feel like they can make this work. Now, the rest of these games on this list, these are going to be a little rapid fire because I did not care about any of the rest of these games during the showcase. Outlast Trials. Never got into the games. They're not for me. Return to Monkey Island. Point and click adventure game. Not on my list. Park Beyond. A roller coaster tycoon type game. Not bad, but not on my list. Moonbreakers. Tabletop turn-based deck building. Most likely going to end up on Game Pass. Pretty much all the games on here will most likely end up on Game Pass. Hunky Star Rail, anime style type game. Trailer gives me nothing to work with. So I see a CG trailer that gives me nothing to work with. I don't even know what's even about. Like I said, this was most likely going to be in Game Pass. Homeworld 3, Space RTS, I should say. Goat Simulator. This is probably the biggest game in this rapid fire. I don't know what it is about people, but they seem to do something right because it's getting praise and they're on their third game. So they must be doing something right. Genshin Impact. Did not know. Forgot this game was still a thing. But again, this is their third big update, and you can play it pretty much on any device. So money maker for them. Friends versus Friends. Cell shaded deck creating first person shooter. I believe this is on the Switch. It should be on Switch and PC. Probably just put it on all of them. This game most likely Game Pass again. Dying Light 2. This is in the rapid fire just because nothing can really say. Blood Ties is DLC. Arena Survival Mode. Alright. Blacktail. I didn't even put anything that says it except that it's going to be on Game Pass. So there's not much to say on that. Dorfer Kid? I don't know what to say. I don't even know how to pronounce it. But a low quality SimCity for the Switch. War Song from the industry vets that brought you Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, and Skyrim, Outer Rims, and Dragon Age Inquisition. What can I say about this? This game is probably end up being one of the greatest games ever made. If you're not reading from my tone, this is all sarcasm. Because what they really mean to say is that we're just going to throw about a bunch of names and not show shit in the whole entire trailer and be like, yep, we did something here. You might as well just show me an image, a still image at that point because you gave me nothing to work with. Crossfire X, Babylon DLC. The main issue about this game is that it's not doing anything new and it really can't compete with other games, other first-person shooters. COD, Battlefield, Insurgency. There's too many first-person shooters in the market, and it really wasn't all that good. It was very basic. So I'm surprised they are still dropping things for it. I believe it's probably that they have it in Game Pass, so they might be obligated to actually support the game for a little bit. And if that's not the case, and they're actually making money, hey man, they get everything they deserve because I played the game and it was just bad. Just bad. Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide. 4-player co-op, first-person shooter. If you played their other game, Vermicide, you'll be right at home. This might be a pickup for me because I like my 4-player co-ops. I like to have my co-op games on deck. The problem is I have too many of them. So this might be on the back burner for quite a bit. So I might not pick this up anytime soon. Underwater. An underwater traveling game. There's not much to say. It looked like one of those games that if you just want to play something and just cool out, this is probably it. I don't know what the genre is called for these type of games, but someone should definitely make one, because if this is the case, the games are just being like, well, you just basically just move around on screen and you're getting achievements. Like Journey was one of those type of games. What else? Undertow. I don't think it's Undertow, but they had another one for underwater that you just light up these things and just go to the next room and continue doing it. I don't know what it was called, but there was another underwater one that Sony made. Lords of the Fallen. Again, I didn't think this game had made enough money to get another game, but they did. So it is what it is at that point. Now, Stranded Alien Dawn, Scars Above, and Phantom Hellcats all look like these games will go to the Game Pass. There's nothing much that needs to be said about those. It's just that, yeah, this is it. Now, the overall, what does this showcase really show? I'm going to be honest. Was it really any good? Hogwarts? I liked Hogwarts. Hogwarts Legacy. I like that. Gotham Knights. The new Telltales. Moving Out 2. Marauders. I wish there was actually more of a story to that. Anywhere, I don't know what to say about this game because they showed me just enough for me to be more confused every time I see something. So, Dune Awakening, I actually would like to actually come to that game. So, what would I give this overall? Out of 5, I'd probably give this a 2. But you got to remember, there's not a lot of heavy hitters here. Besides Dead Island 2, Callisto Protocol, I would put Hogwarts Legacy, Sonic on that list, Gotham Knights. The other games, they didn't show enough for it to be good. Better than 2 out of 5. You know what? 2 out of 5? Is that a little harsh? Probably 2.5 out of 5? Nah, let's take a 2 out of 5. They just didn't have enough. Well, thanks for listening to the Beantown Bully podcast. Please leave me a review. If you have any topics or criticism, please shoot me an email at beantownbully617@gmail.com. If you want to support the show, you can donate. I have my Cash App and PayPal in the description. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.